Hello, folk. I'm just here to share a bit of my story, just as an ordinary guy who's come to realize the globe dissection. And, you know, this deception we're all in, it starts pretty early. Yes, I think it's about the years 2 or 3 that we're confronted with a bunch of different weird foreign ideas of what time is and how you're supposed to remember in this abstract form of memory. And, you know, I'm not unique. I'm one of 7 billion on this planet. And, you know, I'm no statistician, but probably about 5 billion are born in the same type of indoctrination that I was born into. And, you know, I do happen to have this memory, though, and be able to realize when these things are pressed on me as foreign forces or alien structures upon how my brain and system was working, I guess, by default or instinct, you could say. And, you know, so I remember how memory was, the way we slice it and make it abstract and almost quantify it, I don't feel like that's natural, you know, and I don't feel like this idea that you're born as something, and it's something that was created, or that you're magically blooming and blossoming. It's just something like that, you know. That always freaked me out because I thought it was the same as dying, you know. Being born from nothing. What was I before then? What will I be after this material and this material realm? So those ideas were just as foreign as the memory was, and they just build on one after the other until when you get to the point, maybe you're 4 and 5 and you're in school and you start seeing these pictures of outer space, and the teachers are saying this, that, and the other thing with all the galaxies and the planets spinning around. Well, you kind of just believe it, you know, because your mind's been shut down and synaptically pruned already for how many years of your life by the time you get there. So yeah, you're ripe. You're ripe for the learning. You know, and of course I, like many others, don't fit into that system, you know. And when I came to this globe deception, this globe lie, it wasn't such a shock to me. And I think that's just because I had a backlog. I had the pain and experience of every time I saw some damn picture in a book of saying, hey, is that what I see? Is that within my experience? You know? But we're rewarded for ignoring the experiences that we have and for not questioning and just repeating. And this is nothing new. You guys all know this, you know. But sometimes it is valuable to just say something and give it a light that it may not have had before. So that was that, you know. I had my tough time in the education system and sitting there in the inactivity of it all. You know, that's another error. It's not just we indoctrinate, we make ourselves lazy. We lobotomize and make ours lame. You know, we got both sides of the equation working. And I feel like it's about the natural age for the scientific mind and everything to start kicking in. And the more abstract and logical sense anyway is perhaps, you know, 10, 11 or something like that. So yeah, I started running to the sciences. And in my school, they didn't have what I wanted, you know, because I realized that if I know anything, if I'm thinking about anything, if I'm visualizing anything, making graphs, pictures, representations, that I have to understand perspective and be able to, you know, draw this out and understand it, you know. So I spent a lot of time thinking about that and looking for things in vain, and I couldn't find it, you know. So that's another area where our education system is flawed. And, you know, and then you get into high school and just forget about it by then. You know, what are you supposed to be doing? Watching the movies or listening to the music or drinking or learning about sex and all this other stuff. You know, that's not my story. My story was looking into physics every day, like it was some sort of a, I don't know, life calling or something. That's what I thought I'd be doing. And that hasn't quite panned out. You know, I'm as inquisitive and curious as ever. And this globe lie has really started to spark that within me again. That maybe I can look at something with wonder, you know, and then maybe my life has a purpose. You know, because I tell you, I could see what I needed to grow as a person. You know, these different avenues of logic and thinking. You know, the perspective and you know, electromagnetics and things like this. Things that I was curious about, you know. But without any outlet and just realizing what was up against, you know, I would have great hopes and I'd have insights and ambitions and things, be thinking, oh, well, everything could be different. You know, we could be having a magnetic rail systems or whatever. Again, nothing new, nothing fancy, but maybe perhaps a better, logical. You know, but they're just dashed against the wall of this materialistic society, of this false education system. And, you know, I remember I'd have these insights and these grand things, you know, perhaps I was a bit of a naive dipshit with an ego or something, I don't know. But either way, I just remember I'd be saying, you know, well, it's time to go back to sleep, to this unresting sadness, because I can't do anything right now, you know? And, you know, I think we've come to a time as a people where we have to realize that we can do something. And, you know, I don't think we're ready to go back to sleep. I don't think we're meant to go back to sleep. You know, it's in the human to grow. And these seeds that this flat earth movement is planting, you know, these seeds of critical thought and whatever, you know, the waters will come, you know, and these seeds will start to grow. And I think I'm experiencing that in myself. It may just be my age and circumstance, but I do attribute a lot of it to this work. The people have put before me, letting me see about the globe lie that I stumbled upon. And, you know, names, if people want names because people like credit, whatever, you know, Eric Dubé and Dell from Beyond Imaginary Curve, pretty much, you know, I haven't watched much else but them. And, you know, I'm not going to go fucking say things they said and everyone else has said because it's out there and these resources are good. So if you're in question about this stuff, dig into them and look for the objective content because that's what matters, right? You know? But anyway, so I've kind of come to this point where I've kind of divorced myself from the false gods of science and mathematics that aren't grounded in reality. I spent probably from years and maybe, you know, 10, 12, something like that, up to about 21 or so, just really digging into science and reading a bunch of books and doing all this other shit, thinking that was going to be my goal in life, was to, you know, maybe I could unite quantum mechanics and general relativity or some shit, because that's the thing they're saying you need to be doing right now, you know? And it's just now where I'm starting to regain my sense of, well, maybe I can, just like everyone else, explore and do experiments. And, you know, when I was a kid looking at all this shit in the book, I couldn't say nothing then. I mean, I would. I'd ask the teachers and everything else, and they wouldn't know, and they wouldn't give me no answers. So I'd go and do my own shit. I'd tear things up and look around and do what any good, curious kid would do, get in a bunch of nice trouble, you know? And I always said, I can't do nothing now, but there'll be a time, you know? And I'm just starting to step into that time personally. And this whole flat earth thing is really starting to empower me. Because I'm learning through this quest, this journey I have to take, the vocabulary of logic. You know, the discernment of the mind to be able to weed through this bullshit. And yeah, that's always there in everyone, but suppressed. But, you know, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of turmoil whenever you're fucking with somebody's brain for the whole life. Yeah, that's for sure. You know, but the other side of this is, for those who realize these things and see what's going on, those shouldn't be pressed on humans to have this type of thing to happen, you know. It can be a growing pain, and it's that seed that's popping through the shell. So, when I see this movement, I see farming. I see people planting seeds and growing, you know, for the new type of humanity that might come after this, whatever that's supposed to be, by whatever design and whatever purpose, which, as much as I wish to say I know, I don't quite know. Now there's things to be doing in the absence of sure knowing. There's things that are verifiable, farming practices, agriculture, whatnot. These things are within our experience. But as far as these gurus and these teachers and these scientists and these prophets, well, I can only say that their time is done. Unless they're going to be using their skills and their practices to